My hat! This is my Vortec 2.0. So the easiest way really to swap out these spur gears, just remove the rear, remove the front, and then when removing the rear, you're going to remove this cover. This thing will just pop up. This is really the easiest way to go about. Now, I actually already removed it. That's why the pin's not there. And then you just click this off. And it's actually quite easy. So here we go. I have this little bit here. When you swap these, you're going to need this bearing unless you have extras. Sometimes you can remove them with your hand, sometimes not. Just keep that in mind. But when it comes to gears, there are people that will do a mod 1. They'll just use a pinion, mod 1, which is something you can do, and you can just fit it here. The only thing is, because of the set screw, that's going to hit unless you drive it all the way in. But let's just say you don't drive it all the way in. Now this happens to be 5mm. You may have to just grab a small little file and just file this a little, but it's pretty easy. See? So this will fit right in there. Now you could modify this to fit in here. So you could make this hole a little bigger so the set screw falls in there. That's one thing that you can do. Something else that you can do is you can grab a file and you can just flatten this out. Actually, you would flatten back here because this actually sits over here. So forget about what I said about this little section. You're gonna have to flatten this out. But I'm not going to do it because you have to mill that part of the chassis. And I really don't want to do that. And the reason why is, let me get that out of the way. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and place this in here. And as it is, let's do it out here. All right, there we go. So it's sat. Now that it's sat in there, I'll go ahead and just install this. And that's one of the issues, right in here. There we go. So this is getting pushed up, as you can see. So that's the issue. So you will have, and notice that the set screw is on top. So the set screw is not the problem. And you're gonna have to mill this out. The problem with doing that is then you're gonna have this rubbing on the plastic and it's gonna create heat. It will melt the plastic in the chassis and then it's a big giant mess. The other thing you can do is you can mill this out so that it doesn't make contact, and then you can just grab, you're gonna have to modify this, and if you grab, let me stabilize the camera, if you buy the bearing, that center bearing from the 3.0, that will work as well. So you will need that little hook and then place it there just so that you're running a bearing that holds this shaft. But another option, which I think is a far better option than mod 1. Now, you may want to do the mod 1 because if you grab, let's see, this is a 26. So a 26 would fit here easily. Now I have this one here on purpose. I'm actually planning on running this motor. You know, I'll run it in this video. I'll just include the running videos. And there we go. Here we go. So, which one do I want? 26. All right. So we can fit a 26 in here. Now, if we do a 28, this is going to be too big. So you're going to need another 26. But you could slap a 26 right in here if you have a powerful enough system, say something that's forest capable. Keep in mind this car is incredibly light. And this is a 22, I believe. Let me check. 22. You can't really see, but this is a 22. So you can fit a 26 and a 22. You're just going to have to modify everything like I mentioned. Now this is if maybe you're running a 4S system, which they do make 4S systems. You're just going to have to move things around in order to fit the can probably. Mainly because I'm thinking of the larger cans, the 70mm cans. So those are going to take the entire space. There we go. So I'll leave this here. I guess if you do two shorty packs, and then strap them here, maybe ESC. I don't know, it's not really something of my interest. But I picked this up. This is from Cobra, so Cobra still has these. A lot of shops don't have them anymore. But this is by HR. I was actually just trying to find it on Amazon. Amazon didn't have it, but Cobra had it. They're off in Florida. So if you're in Florida and you happen to go to Cobra or King Cobra, you can pick one of these up. They still have a bunch, luckily. Well, you know, whatever a bunch means, more than one. So this is the modification. I'm just including this really quick. So I did remove the screws. So this is after the run, but all I did is I just took a rotary tool and I just started grinding material off until I got the desired dimensions. This is just grease, it's very dirty. But you're gonna have to make that modification in order to fit the larger pinion. So again, 48 spur, 42 pinion. And this is a steel gear, so this is a metal gear. And it is a 48 pitch by Hot Racing. Just really quick, the part number is STRF448. That's the part number that you're looking for. And the beauty about this is it's a 48 pitch and it is a metal gear and it fits right in. No modifications. All you need is you grab the bearing slides right on, and then this will slide right on as well. And you just need to make sure that you don't lose the little pin. Here, let's see. Here it is. It was right underneath the transmitter here off on the side. Pin just goes in here, and then we'll turn this. And that is it. And that will hold perfectly right in here, and then everything will just fit. Now, because it's metal, you can dry these. You can run them dry. I would not, though. Put some grease. And what I mean by running them dry, I've seen people on Mod 1s for slashes run them dry, but I recommend you always use some type of lubricant, some type of grease. You can use a silicone-based grease. Now, if you use something like this is very light, so you're gonna have to just do a lot more maintenance. You can use black grease. Black grease is a little tackier, so it will create a little more resistance. Then again, this is so light and the system's so powerful that it's not gonna care. But the great thing with this is you can just use, the gears that you already have. Now, this gear, I may test this one just for fun. This is a 37, but I do have a 42. The 42 is actually the one that I want to use with this 48. So this is a 48 tooth, 48 pitch, which is great, versus the stock. The stock, I believe, is a 70, or this optional one, which is a 55. Now, if you have watched some of my other run videos with the 2.0 or the 3.0, with this gear and that 37, this one right here, I have achieved, I have broken 70 miles per hour on those cars. So with this one and the larger one, I should be able to achieve higher speeds. But the main thing I want to show is if you spend a little more and get a good quality 2S motor, can you achieve high speeds with it? So that's what we're going to see. I have the Hot Racing motor mount here. So this is the universal mount. Calling it universal, I think that's what it's called. But if it's not, I'm calling it universal because it doesn't have the A, B, C, those little pegs. It just moves. So a little trick to install this is you want to tighten the bottom screw first. And the bottom is the one that does not doesn't slide back and forth. So tighten the bottom one first. And the reason why is you're starting with the motor off mesh. So when you mesh it, if you move it this way, the screw would be stuck, right? So the screw's here. So you would actually tighten it, you wouldn't loosen it. That's the reason why. And then you can use an Allen wrench. I hate using Allen wrenches, but you can use your driver. Now it should be the 2mm driver, but I'm using it somewhere else right now. And then you remove the rear body mount. So if you remove this rear body mount, you can actually fit the driver right in through there. This is a 42 tooth pinion gear, so if you have a 42 or smaller, you'll easily be able to fit a driver right through here. And then you're going to hold the motor, and as you tighten this, you're going to notice that the motor is going to start walking toward the spur gear. So there's a variety of things that you can do. You can stick a little piece of paper in there, that's fine. I don't. So what I do is I'll just apply pressure here so that it doesn't go all the way, and then I'll just play with this spur gear, and then I'll just start to tighten it. And then once it sounds like that, I know it's good. Then I'll just hold it and tighten all the way. And that is it. If it walks too much and you don't hear a slight amount of play and the gears are pretty much locked, then you want to loosen it and do it again, and then just push it lightly out. And don't worry if it's a little out of mesh, because as soon as you tighten it, the motor is going to start walking back into mesh. So your concern should not be if the motor goes out, it should be how far the motor goes back in. And that's one of the tricks. Now, just for a future video you can expect, I am going to run the system. This is a 48 tooth spur by Hot Racing. Picked this up from Cobra in Florida. And this is a 42 tooth by Hot Racing. Actually, that was spare. This would be the number. So those are the two numbers. And I'm going to try to see on 2S how it does with this Tekin system. So as you can see, it's a very tight fit on the 2.0. 3.0, you would have no problem with it. But I want to see how fast I can get it with 2S just based on this gearing. If I wanted to, I could do a 43 possibly. I just didn't want to because all the spurs are too heavy. So I wanted to go with a lighter, I guess in a way, 42. That's the reason why I did not pick up the 43. And that's it. So right now I have to work on the servo, and like I said, in a future video, you will see this thing run and what its top speed is on 2S. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not, comment below, and I'll catch you in the next one.
What? Oh, my hair! My tongue! My rod!